Hello, this is Connie Murray Forrest, and today I will discuss with you on how to bless a Ouija board. I have mine right here, which is referred to as a psychic circle. Okay, I'm Wiccan, so when I bless an object, like let's say my Ouija board for example, I ask Hecate and Zeus to bless it, but also the angels and divine spirits and sort. And I ask that no evil shall enter, and that those who use it are protected automatically from all harm. And which, when you're blessing the Ouija board, you gotta consider what you want and ask for it in the blessing. I ask for clear readings and that only good spirits shall enter. When blessing the board, it helps to make your own holy water. If you're Christian or Catholic, you can get your own holy water from a church, but I make my own holy water. What I do is I take sea salt, right? I mix it in water, dip my finger in it, and say, I bless this water in the name of the goddess, of Mother Earth. And I bless this water in the name of Father Sky, so might it be. Basically, if you're Christian, like I said, you can get it from church, but if you want to bless it, you could say that you bless it in the name of Jesus and the Christian God, basically. And all the archangels would be a good example for that. Also, sage, burning sage, right? Over the Ouija board when you're using it, or any object, to bless it, basically. Also, it helps if you have dragon's blood incense too, or frankincense and myrrh incense. Lavender is also very good for blessings. There's certain herbs you can use for blessings, like thyme, basil, and basically, when blessing the board, you got to make sure that your what you're asking for is clear and loud, and communicate that no evil shall enter, basically. But there's always, if you're using a Ouija board, there's always going to be questions that you should never ask a Ouija board, like, when am I going to die? That is a definite one you have to avoid, basically. Not only because you're asking it about your death, and you may not want to know when you're going to die, but it could invite a spirit to kill you. It's like a death threat if you ask the Ouija board, when am I going to die? It's just basic and simple. And there are other questions such as that you don't want to ask, basically. Usually when I'm using my Ouija board, mostly my spirit guides will pop up on the Ouija board and talk to me. Basically, I've never had any negative things happen because I blessed my board right away as soon as I got it. Basically, and you can tell just by using it that there's no negative energies or vibes coming from the board because I blessed it so well. Like my friend, she's like scared of Ouija boards. Well, she used mine, and she said she could feel nothing negative coming from it, basically, and she didn't feel a sense of threat. She didn't feel threatened using it. She felt a sense of calm using my Ouija board. And that's what happens when you bless the Ouija board. You are more likely to feel a sense of calm, you're less likely to encounter negative spirits. If you are only using a Ouija board to get a negative response, then therefore you're going to get a negative response from the spirits and such. Basically, now, if you're only looking to communicate with the dead and positive entities, then a blessing is recommended highly, basically. And you just never, ever want to communicate with the negative spirits on the board. Never want to invite them in if you can help it. Because what they can do, they can latch on to you and harm you in ways that are very harmful. Basically. And even as a Wiccan, us Wiccans even believe that demonic entities exist, basically, and there are certain ghosts that are negative too, basically, malevolent in nature, that can harm you and will harm you. And there's other entities, not just demons, that are harmful. You got to acknowledge that too. That will harm you and will cause harm to you in negative ways. And then everyone's got a darker aspect to them too, like a shadow self. So sometimes you might encounter your own shadow self through the Ouija board, basically. And you could also talk to your own soul through a Ouija board. That's something you didn't know. Often if you want to do this, you do it by yourself, basically. You want to learn more about your inner being, your very self. I done this once, and I asked the Ouija board, who is this? Is this a ghost? And the board spelled out your soul. This is your soul. Basically, this is a friend's board I used. It was just communicating, I am a part of you, I'm you. Basically. So in some cases, you may be speaking to yourself without realizing it. But I could clearly realize that, hey, you know, that's what it was. It kept communicating, and it didn't threaten me, not once. Not once at all. It did not threaten me. And that board is also blessed, too. Basically. My friend Jennifer went to the extremes to bless it. Basically. And, so, basically, there's different types of spirit entities that you can communicate with and talk to, basically. And some you just want to avoid if you can help it. And it's not wise to invite in the negative ones, basically, when using a Ouija board. You want to invite in your ancestors if you can help it, or positive spirits, or people you know that you're familiar with, basically. But as far as things go, I'm going to leave you to your thoughts on this, and so hopefully now on, if you use a Ouija board, you'll think more carefully before using it, and think to bless it. Not just think to bless it, but actually go to the extremes to bless your board before using it, so that you do not put yourself in harm's way. So, goodbye.